A country renowned for its historic the world has been shocked by the passivity to wars. With this revolutionary advancement, we're all left wondering what could be brewing steadily beneath the surface. Additional surprising turn, the nation has formed partnerships outside of its customary collaboration with the U.S. to attain the Air Force's objectives. They've teamed up with other countries to build a strong 6th-generation Godzilla F-X, and the stealth fighter might altering the definition of warfare on a worldwide scale. The expanding regional emerging threats and tensions have most likely had a big impact on Japan's recent move to strengthen its potential for defense capabilities. Obstacles in the distance. It has evolved into more and more important for the nation to adjust and get ready for a constantly changing worldwide panorama. Come along as we investigate the features and capacity of Japan's powerful Godzilla F-X, a powerful beast that startleth globe. Japan, following World War II, has been unwilling to strengthen its armed forces, particularly its Air Force, which is currently antiquated in comparison to contemporary standards. The war's trauma, combined with the destruction it inflicted upon Japan and its people, developed a strong dislike for armed force. Recollections of Nagasaki and Hiroshima serve as a somber reminder of the price of war and the post-war constitution of Japan, developed with American influence, committed the nation to adopt a pacifist posture. Article 9 within the Constitution repudiated Japan's the authority to fight and keep a military forces for the intention of attacking, limiting its military prowess. Japan, solely for self-defense, entered into a partnership for security with the United States as well. This alliance required the existence of U.S. armed forces, including aviation squadrons based in Japan. It offered a security cover that Japan might concentrate on reviving its economy and infrastructure that is dependent on U.S. for protection. The immediate post-conflict period required significant financial investments in economic recuperation and growth, leaving little resources to expand the military. So this was a fantastic agreement for Japan at the moment. The nation's interactions with its neighbors nations, particularly those in China and South, there have been tense moments in Korea, and their prudence in the military buildup was motivated in part by a wish to avoid seeming combative in an area where intricate political and historical. Regrettably, this strategy causes tensions, possibly insufficient. Now China's outstanding military and economic growth now has a more hostile attitude toward Japan, utilizing China's economic influence, impose boycotts and trade restrictions in Japan because of Japan's backing for Taiwan's defense cooperation with the U.S. But that's not the location. It concludes China is adopting a more devious strategy, additionally using cyber attacks, and they have been breaking into espionage. Japan's corporate and government networks, looking to use defense-related pills and secrets of technology. And of course, there's a military component in this conflict. Additionally, China has increased the stakes by air and naval activity. Close to the Japanese live fire drills in the territory are routine incident, and they've even started ballistic missiles near an ally of Japan, Taiwan. Given all of these and additional provocation, Japan needs to update its aircraft in order to don't depend solely on allies abroad, particularly considering that Russia and acquiring the F-22 Lockheed Martin Raptors that can compete with Russian and Chinese rivals, though the U.S. prohibited the export of these combatants to safeguard its technology before departing Japan. Consequently, with no choices, the Japanese military made the decision to start an unparalleled voyage by cultivating its own 6th and 5th generation fighter aircraft. Although this audacious endeavor confronts many barriers to its possible success, might give Japan access to state-of-the-art aircraft and a key position in the worldwide armaments trade. Between 2009 and 2010 saw the Japanese Defense Ministry carried out an extensive analysis of combat aircraft technology that resulted in the idea for a 6th-generation combat vehicle dubbed the I-3 fighter, a symbol for knowledgeable, astute, Instantaneous, the fighter of the future generation would have a sophisticated data processing for radar systems utilizing the stealth technology of flyby optic semiconductors made of gallium nitride for improved radar efficiency and a more strong motor. The Defense Ministry created a distinctive platform for demonstrators referred to as TEST and evaluate the Mitsubishi X2 Shinshin Hone. These technical specifications, the experimental model, enables engineers to test out different technologies, offering insightful information about the growth of their upcoming generation fighters. The X2 is structurally similar to the contemporary 5th generation fighter architecture comparable to the F-22 Raptor aircraft. Its proportions resemble those of the Swedish Saab JAS 39 Gripen, measuring approximately with a wingspan of 9 meters and 14 meters. It is almost 13 tons in weight and has strong turbojet engines equipped with 3 systems that provide depth thrust vectoring, remarkable dexterity, and the ability to cruise at supersonic speeds. Among the most fascinating of the aircraft characteristics is its object of experimentation. Flyby is the name of the remote control system. This system replaces most optical conventional cables, equipped with optical fiber, boosting the capacity of data transmission as well as electromagnetic disruption. The entire airframe is resistant, incorporated with tiny antennas that examine radar data, enabling the X2 to successfully oppose and repress radar detection. Its prototype proved successful, and numerous its displayed systems will probably discover their position within the 6th generation combatant. This fixed-wing, twin-engine aircraft had a sleek style that stands 4.51. Its trimmed delta wings and sophisticated root extensions made it possible for it to sustain a high angle of attack safely. Both of the aircraft's vertical stabilizer trailing edges were also enhanced. Aerodynamics and covered attributes. The fighter, with just one pilot, had a landing gear for tricycles that retracts. Aerodynamic control configuration will be noticeably greater than the F-22, also on the unmatched network capacities, as well as the capacity to transport greater number of missiles than the F-35. There have been suggested exterior designs and tested with specialized software and 3D modeling software for virtual simulation. One of the design priorities is speed, agility, and coveredness to improve its flexibility and lighten. The F-X's weight will take the place of traditional hydraulic systems that employ electric actuator sophisticated adhesive molding as an alternative, producing more than 20 tons of thrust. These engines have 3-dimensional thrust vector nozzles in order to agility and enhanced stealth in terms of armament. The F-X will furnished with a multitude of sensors to combat enemy stealth aircraft, such as live, electronically scanned array radio frequency radars are passive devices. And these sensors infrared cameradalizes technology based on gallium nitride to improve their performance in comparison to poor radar cross-section targets. In addition, an RF self-defense system will be included that has the ability to immediately interfere with radio waves worldwide to deflect incoming missiles. It will also have a mounted helmet display featuring a broad field of view, multicolored binocular capabilities, display 3D audio and voice recognition. Among the F-X stealth features air ducts with serpentines, are internal weapons, electromagnetic wave absorbers in the bay and metamaterials. These characteristics significantly lower its radar cross-section. In addition to a stealth plasma system of antennas will reflect radio waves, generating brief plasma explosions toward off incoming radio waves. Traditional weaponry. The F-X will be with a microwave cannon in hand to cause havoc approaching missiles. It will additionally have theft capacity to provide combat support drones operating autonomously, acting as devoted supporters of the combatant. These drones will assist in identifying targets, the use of weapons, and deterrence approaching rockets. If the F-X Godzilla fulfills even a small portion of its potential, that the Japanese could take advantage of armed forces piloting a powerful aircraft exceeding anything found in the skies today. Moreover, It has the capacity to propel Japan into the world of armaments development market, securing its role as a military contractor. Another formidable entity is the F-X. A Godzilla shall undertake is swapping out Japan's currently. The F-2 jets are a crucial asset of the Air Self-Defense Force of Japan, or for short. There's quite a backstory to JIF. Its growth. It even caused some international crises encountered en route. It could appear to be an F-16 upgraded initially glance. A closer examination reveals there is a distinct type of fighter, that the only person using this aircraft is JSDF. Dubs this is a fifth-generation fighter, or FORUS. For some, a fairly accurate label. Degree. The Air Self-Defense Force of Japan was to develop the idea of a support fighter 1977. The support fighter's role included ground-based anti-ship attacks, close air support, and defense attacks. In contrast to airborne threats, it was from a fighter with multiple roles, as its main focus was not on aerial combat at first. The Japanese Air Force depended on for these support fighters on F-86 tasks that Mitsubishi F-1s subsequently replaced. Though, following the introduction of the Japan started a study for F-1 in 1978 because of the F-1's restricted 500-hour life span. Japan approved the development in 1980-2 of the following support combatant. This new aircraft's fly-by-wire system was required. All-weather flight controls, system superior electronic warfare capability competencies, and enhanced air-to-air combat capacity. As planned, aircraft would be equipped with 4 anti-ship air-to-air missiles, as well as missiles with a combat radius of more than 830 kilometers. Of issue to Japanese manufacturers of aircraft to start their native programs. Mitsubishi felt secure because of its previous involvement in creating the T-2C Sieg investigation aircraft and having a domestic flight control via flyby, where they began working on the JF-210 system. Kawasaki concurrently created an aircraft with a design similar to Thifa-18 Hornet, but the degree of combat capability from air to air persisted ambiguous, resulting in evolution specifications and modifications to the design that increased expenses and confusion throughout that design procedure. In the end, Japan understood that the costs of research and development for a fighter with domestic support would be extravagant. Direct international procurement was additionally impossible because there isn't a fighter available fulfill their Air Force qualifications. At the Japan chose a joint venture at that point development initiative. 1986 businesses McDonnell and General Dynamics Douglas suggested working together creation using the F-16 and FA-18 as a basis. In turn, the Europeans showcased a proposal focused on increasing capacity. However, in the vicinity of the tornado, their technology transfer provides an industrial cooperation levels was proposed by McDonnell Douglas, founded on the F-15 that Japan has previously employed. Following careful assessment, Japan agreed to use the F-16 as the primary aircraft. More precisely, an improved F-16 version that General Dynamics had been engaged in on as an affordable substitute for the sophisticated tactical fighter program. Even though the first obstacles were removed, new difficulties surfaced. In the early Reagan's administration sought to strengthen the armed forces of the Western Bloc, and thus the United States Defense Department backed Japan's new initiative to promote combat aircraft collaboration and technology transfer. But the United States Department of Commerce had tense relations with Japan in the past. The trade balance has turned away from the USA for a long time. Time frame that the Commerce Department favored forcing Japan to make a direct purchase. In addition, U.S. weapon systems technology transfer sparked worries that Japanese aircraft manufacturers may develop interrivals of American businesses, as well as Japan's track record of disclosing important Soviet industrial secrets. However, in 1988, the United States and Japan came to a consensus regarding the joint development plan, even though its specific talks carried on for an additional year. The United States Congress authorized specific limitations. These restrictions included limitations on supplying the source code for the F-16, optimizing work shares for American businesses while manufacturing, and Japan's offer important technology transfers to the United States. The F-2's production process was collaborative between the USA and Japan, with a 60-40. Mitsubishi served as the principal contractor in Japan along with numerous other Japanese businesses such as Kawasaki and Fuji, acting as one of the subcontractors. Engine was manufactured by EE under license. General Dynamics was the leading partner within the initiative, even despite Lockheed Martin's acquisition of aircraft manufacturing plants located in Fort 1993 Saw-Worth. The F-2 made its inaugural flight on October 7, 1995. Small problems surfaced during the test flights, as well as tiny fissures in the primary wing framework producing the delays. These issues are fixed. The F-2 was formally included in the 2000's JIST service. First, Japan intended to purchase 141 F-2s, but because of high unit costs, the figure was subsequently lowered to 94. The plane might look like the F-16, but has a variety of intricate variations. As previously stated, its fuselage is lengthier than the F-16 Block 40 by 0.5 meters variation, with 25% of its wings bigger, so that it can hold more significant ordnance on its underside pylons, while improving mobility. Additionally, Mitsubishi updated the vertical stabilizer to enhance the efficiency of flight, particularly for anti-ship missiles. During the F-2 becomes the first with this radar combat aircraft in production with an active array that is electronically scanned radar, providing it with superior anti-ship attacking from the ground and intercepting capacities. The horizontal wings improve stealth landing gear doors, and the tail fin rudder are made of carbon fiber strengthened composite substance. The tail unit and rear fuselage are constructed of titanium. In addition to Mitsubishi used its ray and radar absorbent substance for the leading edges of the nose, wing and motor intakes, as opposed to the F-2's two-piece cockpit canopy. For the F-16 has a three-piece canopy for the cockpit, supplying greater resistance. Taubert hits this characteristic, rendering the airplanes that are ideal for low-altitude strikes, using both land and sea. In contrast to U.S. Air Force S-16s, the F-2 comes with a brake chute, but blatantly obvious that Japan admires the United States for some ideas on function and design. Additionally, they bought some F-35s due to the UK and Italy have released a statement together with Japan. In relation to their participation in creating the fighter of the future aircraft collectively, the program develops considering the notable advancements already accomplished in UK businesses, such as BA Rolls-Royce UK, Midday UK Systems, Leonardo. The Ministry of Defence in the UK have been collaborating as a team since 2018. Research, evaluation, and development temperament diverse capacities for upcoming warfare. Tempest Air Systems team is making sure that both the UK's security is a today's and tomorrow's generations the government's top priority. This requires continuing to be at the forefront of military technology to surpass and outwit possible adversaries. The global alliance declared with Japan and Italy hope to accomplish specifically that, highlighting the linked safety of the regions of Indo-Pacific and the Euro-Atlantic. The Joint Engine Demonstrator project is planned to start with the UK in 2024, making a £30 million initial investment while organizing digital design and inventive developments in manufacturing. An extra £200 million in UK funding will be used to create a large-scale power system demonstrator supporting a large number of highly skilled jobs, including the ones at the Florence Rolls-Royce facility in Bristol. Combined, these nations will endeavor to establish a multifunctional sensor that improves aircraft intelligence, reconnaissance, and capacities for reconnaissance. Japan is already providing assistance. Rolls-Royce, using a powertrain demonstrator, will offer beneficial innovations in technology for the British warplane, will have the ability to generating and retaining electrical energy produced by gas turbine engines, utilizing the system for temperature control to improve output and lower Japan's entry in the Tempest's heat signature into this partnership is a noteworthy growth of the collaboration between the Japan and the UK. Will also prioritize the creation of the Jaguar sensing system created to identify dangers from the air and land and sea and swiftly identify targets, and indeed this cooperative effort is expected to persist for the ensuing quinquennial period. Ben Wallace, the UK's Defence Secretary, highlighted the significance of international cooperation in this kind of large-scale endeavour, utilising the strengths in technology and industry of the two nations. They will investigate a broad collaboration that includes combat air technologies of the future generation, sophisticated radar systems, and 3D printing. The Tempest's first flight is expected in 2035. And it will take the place of the Typhoon Eurofighter in Italy and the UK, as well as the Saab Gripen in Sweden. The manufacturing process is expected to incorporate 3D printing, and Leonardo is working on a multi-function radar frequency system for the Tempest. This system, which uses a network of smaller antennas and miniaturized receivers, reimagines radar technology, collecting vast amounts of data from Theskis and the ground like other sixth-generation aircraft. The Tempest will likely utilize artificial intelligence software for autonomy. China and Russia, both of which have made progress in their own next-generation fighters. It's unclear how this collaboration might impact Japan's Godzilla F-X projectus. They are actively assisting the UK and Italy with the Tempest. Some speculate that these three nations could eventually join forces to create a completely new aircraft that leverages the strengths of their respective fighter jets. Regardless of the plan, the United States supports Japan's security and defense cooperation with like-minded allies and partners. If Taiwan were to be captured, the islands at the southwestern tip of Japan might become hard to defend. China could then tighten control over Japan's crucial trade routes, escalate tensions around the disputed Senkaku Islands, and exert pressure on its long-standing rival to prevent this. Japan needs a united effort to prevent China from invading. Additionally, addressing the threat posed by North Korea is imperative. While it may surprise some, we can all admit that there is no better time for Japan to develop its military strength than now. Thanks for watching. While you're still here, click on the link appearing on your screen to check out another of our videos. See you there.